Hello everyone, welcome back to I will show you some very basics of Scratch, or you can say I will just literally take you through a tutorial on how to get started on Scratch, how to get through the basics of Scratch, how to know Scratch better. Yeah, all that. So first the question arises, what is Scratch? So Scratch is this programming language which children all over the world use to create their own animated stories, games and animations. You can use this for various purposes. Scratch can be used to create things like animations, art, games, music, stories and tutorials. Scratch is a very universal and very easy programming language to learn as compared to other programming languages. It does not have any text involved, but other than text, it has these very easy to understand stacked blocks of code which you can use to put together your own games and programs. It might look very easy at first, but keep in mind that Scratch can be used to create very complex games like Minecraft and 3D shooting. So it's not as simple as it seems. It is a very easy programming language, but it can be used to create very high and advanced games. So now let me show you some very basics of Scratch. So first you have this website scratch.mit.edu. This is the main website for Scratch, link in the description, and then when you will go to scratch.mit.edu/career, you will get this page. You will have your upper titles here, and this is your code area, this is your stage area. So first let me just quickly show you the interface itself. This over here, this blue bar you can see, this is your top page. Over here it displays your account. For example, my account ID is cloud-45, so it is displaying my username. Then it shows you this button that takes you to your stuff, basically all the projects you created. Here is a save button in which you can use to save your project. These are buttons for seeing the project page, sharing it, titling the project, or you can see naming the project, some tutorials by the Scratch team, and you have your different file options. So first of all, let me start. Over here, this is the Scratch button. It helps you go back to the main page of Scratch. Click it when you want to go back to scratch.mit.edu. This is the language button. You can use it to switch to any other language if you want, but I'm keeping it English right now. Then you have this edit button which you can use to restore sprites. Let's not get into turbo mode right now because that's a very high and advanced topic. Let's just focus on the basics. Here is tutorial by Scratch team. You can name everything, and yeah, that's how the upper bar over here works. Then what you have over here, this is your code area. This whole area you see right here, it's your code area. These are the columns. You can switch to coding part, the costumes part, where you can draw different frames for your sprite, sounds in which you can import and record sounds for your own sprite. So now let's firstly focus on the costumes area. The sounds area is very simple. It's literally so basic. I don't need to explain this. You can just understand if you understand how the costumes work. So first of all, you have this option right here to add a new costume. If you click on this button right here, it takes you to the sprite library, or you can say costume library, from which you can choose the built-in costumes. Then you have this choose a costume, which does the same thing as the last one. It takes you to the library. Then you have this paint a sprite button, which you can use to paint your own sprites. You can create it using shapes and everything. Then you have this button called surprise, which gives you any random costume from the paint editor, literally any random costume. So yeah, you want to delete these. And then you have this import one, which you can use to import any project from your file, or any file from your computer. Yeah, you can use to import that. Now lastly, let's focus on the code tab. What the code tab does is here what you put your programming, or you can say your scripting for your sprite, what actions they have to do, you have to put it together. First of all, let's explain the very basics. This over here is what you call the block categories. There are different block categories. All the code blocks have been coded with colors and into different categories so that it is easier for you to find these things. First of all, these things that you see right here are blocks. There are three kinds of blocks. Normal blocks like this one, a number or text block like this one, and then we have the boolean like this one. So yeah, you get the idea. Let's not get into the number and text and boolean ones right now. Let's just focus on the main blocks, the default normal blocks. So first of all, this is what you call a single block. And now when you stack different blocks together, it creates a script. For example, when the green flag clicked, move 10 steps and turn 15 degrees. This is all put together and stacked up one on top of the other. This is known as a script. But for example, if let's say we have this play sound block and it's just lying on its own, then this is a single block. This is a single block and this is a script. Keep in mind. So yeah, since that is done, let me now show you how to create a loop. So in this control category, you will see block like repeat, forever, if then else, repeat until. These blocks are what you call loops. So let's just focus on these two loops for now. The other three are kind of advanced, so let's just focus on these two. Repeat, what this does is that it lets you repeat one action for a given number of times. For example, over here I want to repeat this script over here for 3 times, so I will put 3 and I will put these two blocks into this loop like this and attach it to the when the green flag clicked. As you can see, it repeats this thing 3 times. But what if I wanted to forever move and forever turn? Like since until infinity, until the project is not stopped, it will keep doing this if we put it in a forever loop. So now as you can see, it forever does this thing, and when we click on the stop button, then it stops the project. Now let's focus on this buttons right here. So this button is called the green flag button or the go button, you can say. What it does is that it's used to start a program. As you can see, I have used this hat block when the green flag clicked to start the project, and this is the stop button which you can use to stop the project. These are the two kinds of views. You can switch to any one of them. Either this one, this way you get more space for the code and costumes area, on this one in which you get more space for the stage than the other one, and then this one you can only see the stage. This is for like viewing your projects in full screen after they're done or anything. So yeah, since that is covered, let me quickly show you what this area does. This is just stage. As you know, this just performs all of your tasks, and then you have this area over here. This is called the sprite pane. In this sprite pane, you have this option that says sprite, in which you can name your sprites. For example, I want to rename my sprite to spin, so I will just select it and then I will type spin and then I will click on enter, and these are the x and y values. X value is the x position, or you can say the like horizontal position. So for example, x position 0 will take it directly to the horizontally middle of the canvas, and then if we put positive values like 10, 30, 50, then it will move towards the right hand side. But if we put negative values like negative 50, it will move more towards the left hand side. So that's how this works. Same goes for the y, just only the y is vertical, not horizontal. The size you can adjust how large you want it to be. For example, you can set it to 80 and then it's a bit smaller, and if you set it to like something like 200, if you set it to like 200, then it's way larger. And then you have the direction. Let's not get into that because that's a bit more advanced. So since this is covered, this is all for this video, and I hope I see you in the next time. I will post a part 2 continuing the same tutorial. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and stay tuned. Bye bye.